In today's show, captains in waiting, putting leadership to the test, and the injury that all players dread. Hi, I'm Mark Pickley and welcome to The Crows Show, brought to you by the new Pork Belly Deluxe Burger, only at Hungry Jack's. Also joining us, Belinda Sloan.
When the Crows AFLW team made football history here at Adelaide Oval 3 weeks ago, the headline stretched all the way across the other side of the globe. I'll have that story a little later, Vix.
Thanks, Belinda. The recent form of Elliott Himmelberg highlights the great strides being made this year by many of the young Crows players. In a rejuvenated forward line, Elliott has kicked multiple goals in successive games and is playing with newfound confidence. But of course, today's clash with the Giants brings the added challenge of playing against big brother Harry.
She's got plenty on that. Oh, kick the goal. That's in the river. He's put that in the torrent.
It's been good to get a bit of continuity and a good consistent run at it, just getting a few good results on the board. I did have the shoulder up at the end of last year, so probably a little bit slower going, probably allowed me just to really segment my off-season and break it up. So I'm not thinking about it too much, probably simplified it all for me. So just to get a nice consistent build and had a really good run with the physio team. I don't think I ever lost belief, probably just I think sticking to the process, having good coaches and stuff helped with that. I always had a strong belief in myself, and I think probably the supporter at the club and around have really aided that. So.
Rowe, Himmelberg, it's a night for the big guys in front of the sticks.
That was pretty incredible. 3 or 4 goals down, I think, in the last quarter, and for some reason I never thought for a second that we weren't going to win. I just thought we were owning the game for a lot of it, and then obviously to kick a couple at the end was really good to contribute to it. That was really special, and then obviously Dawes' kick after the siren was incredible. I was on the goal line getting ready to shepherd it through, but thankfully didn't have to. The wobbler got through. Just to get a couple of games together, I think, is really important while we're really young. A lot of us are still figuring out our games and how we're fitting into the side, so for that to be fast-tracked has been pretty good.
Today's game will be only the third time the Himmelberg brothers have played against each other. Now, the Crows' decision to rotate the captaincy for the rest of this season gives several players the opportunity to show their leadership credentials. So, what are the qualities that define a potential skipper with the ability to lead the club both on and off the field?
People get caught up with the captain or the leader of an organisation is the sole piece of leadership. We look at it more that we don't need to replace a leader, we need to make sure we're driving leadership across the whole place. So we've got 4 other guys in our leadership group who will step up on game day to fill the void where Sloaney can't. Sloaney stays the captain as day-to-day because he does an amazing job building the right culture, driving the behaviours that we need off field. But we're also going to be leaning on the wider group to again build that leadership capacity across the whole place. The 4 guys in the leadership group they're all very different in the way they lead.
Just passing by Brody Smith has landed a big blow.
Smithers he's amazing with his connection across the whole group. He's often the first guy that players will go to when they've got a concern, when they need help with something or a question.
But Keys knows his way through.
Ben Keys, no surprise, he leads through his hard work, both on and off the training field and game day.
Big mark by O'Brien.
Riley O'Brien, he's kind of everything. He's loved by the boys. He lives our values above and beyond nearly anyone else with his hard work, his connection and prioritise others, and he's very, very clever.
And Marshall goes up and
He speaks very well, he sees things, he's got an eye for detail. Again, an exceptional player and exceptional human, and also very good, kind of similarly with Smithers, he's a bit more on the younger side but can connect with the whole group. Rory's really keen to stay heavily involved. He's had such a big impact on the culture of this place over a very, very long period of time, and I think whilst it's terrible for us to not have him out there on field, we'll get even more out of him off field.
It's very encouraging that the club has several outstanding candidates to ultimately take over from Rory Sloane. Stay with us. After the break, Belinda Sloan.
multiple premierships of the Crows AFLW team have made many players household names here in South Australia. But success has meant a great deal more to Irish recruit Ailish Considine.
And the dominant force becomes a dynasty. The Adelaide Crows are champions of the AFLW for the third time.
Just reflecting on your second AFLW premiership here at this beautiful ground, how does it make you feel?
It's pretty special. Even imagine when I first played my first game in 2019, to think that I'd have 2 premierships 4 years in, it's just absolutely crazy. Like I honestly only hoped to play a game and that was it. I never expected to get re-signed, win a second premiership. It still hasn't really sunk in, to be honest. We've just been so fortunate to have such a good group of girls and such a great coaching staff and club around us.
The Irish run with a bounce, searching for a second and has it.
Back in Ireland, are your achievements big news?
They have been, especially with the 2 grand final wins. It's been big news back home because I was obviously the first in 2019, the first Irish woman to win an AFLW premiership.
I'm sure, no doubt, the family's proud over there when they see a picture of you in the local paper, or?
Yeah, for sure, and my mother's always great to keep all those newspapers.
Of course,
and,
make a scrapbook.
Make a scrapbook and send it on.
How did the opportunity to play AFL present itself?
It's been a bit of a journey, really. The first touch of AFL that I got was with AFL Ireland and AFL Europe. Probably a couple of months later, this cross-coders opportunity came up and they brought over a couple of girls from Ireland and internationally, and there was a camp set up in Melbourne and a couple of clubs came along to have a look, and Adelaide were one of the clubs that were there, and I was fortunate enough that they really took a chance on me.
A bit of the Gaelic style of kick from Considine, the Irish woman.
Well, Ailish, we look forward to seeing you pull on the Crows jumper for the 5th season, and who knows, maybe it's a little bit of Irish luck.
Maybe. I was like 2 out of 3. It ain't bad.
Not bad.
I'm going to claim that I'm bringing a little bit of Irish luck to the team, we'll go with that.
Thanks, Melinda. As the Crows AFLW players continue to celebrate, many have chosen to explore Australia and experience some wonderful adventures. And they've shared their travels with fans on social media. Of course, players have a much shorter break from football this year. With 4 more teams entering the competition, the new season begins in August. So they'll be back in training in just a few weeks. Now, it goes without saying that players have a unique perspective of how games unfold. Their own special highlights can be described as Whopper moments. And thanks to Hungry Jacks, it's the turn of Jordon Butts to tell Tom Doedee about his favourite memory.
I'm very excited for this one. One of the cult figures at the club, Chugger, Jordon Butts. Talk us through your Whopper moment.
My Whopper moment would be very recent, the showdown win.
It's only one man to cover himself in glory. Was coming back and got there.
Pretty quick to learn that the showdown's a big rivalry in SA, and yeah, this is my first showdown win after many losses. So yeah, it was good.
The scenes at the Adelaide Oval.
So obviously the crowd was electric, the people that were there, people on TV saw that. Whereabouts were you when it went through, and what was your immediate reaction after it?
Yeah, unfortunately I was actually on the bench at the time, so I would have liked to be on the ground, but that's how it is. I did get the perfect angle of Jordon sliding the goal in the old swing, late swing. The crowd just went nuts, and everyone in the team just high speed sprint straight to Dawson, all over each other. So it was unreal.
Yeah, I think our GPS units were through the roof by the end of it.
Sprint meters.
And your first showdown win, I did hear some murmurings after the game that you were rolling around saying you should have got the showdown medal. Can you confirm?
Yes.
Is that true?
Yes. Once they announced the first name Jordan, I was already halfway through the stand, so halfway up there. So yeah, unfortunately it wasn't Butts, it was Dawson, but
I had to pull you back there.
It is what it is. Yeah.
Maybe next time when we get a free kick after the siren, you go over and just put your hand up and say, "Boys, I've kicked." How many goals you kicked? None. So maybe I'll take that one and make it your first goal then. Happy days.
There you go.
Mate, thank you for joining us. Appreciate it.
Cheers. Thank you.
That was a great Whopper moment.
Beautiful.
Good.
Every time you attend an Adelaide Crows home game, you could score a free Whopper from Hungry Jacks. Simply download the Hungry Jacks app for your chance to win.
Still to come on The Crows Show, Rory Sloane's long road to recovery. Welcome back. Knee injuries are feared by all players, but a tear or rupture of the anterior cruciate ligament is the worst possible diagnosis. ACLs, as they are known, require major corrective surgery and lengthy rehab, forcing players out of the game for 12 months. Rory Sloane is the latest Crow to suffer the ACL curse, so with the help of Dr. Jones and partners, let's get a clearer picture of why the injury is so serious and why rehab takes so long.
The ACL is a ligament that's in the internal part of the knee, and it provides stability in a number of planes. So that's a ligament that stabilises all those movements, and an ACL injury is when that knee ligament gets torn. There's a number of ways that can happen, and it's usually when you get in a position when the ligament goes taut and exceeds its capacity to bear that load. What we saw with Rory, when he planted his foot in a slightly bent position, but the lower part of his leg sort of was outside his knee and his knee collapsed inwards. So that's an example of how that can happen. In the elite sports person who needs to do twisting and turning and plant their knee, they will need to have that ligament there to do those movements. Ultimately, you have to replace the torn bit of tissue with some tissue from elsewhere. With any recovery, there's a whole number of phases. The initial phase, which is just getting over the operation, getting the knee gently moving, then doing some more strength in the knee, then moving on to things, running or cycling, running, then changing your direction, then football skills. So there's a whole sort of process you have to go through to fully recover from that surgery. Now that process is roughly around 12 months, but it can vary from individual to individual. What you ultimately want is a knee that can stand up to being pulled tight with all those varying twisting, turning, planting your knee. It's got to be mature enough to cope with those positional and getting pulled. As important in a lot of ways is to make sure that all the muscles around the knee are all perfectly aligned so that they can activate and protect the ligament, and then the ligament can stand up to any stress if it's left on its own a little bit.
Unfortunately, Rory joins Brodie Smith, Tom Doedee and Tex Walker, who've also suffered ACL injuries. Now, there's a new outlet for Crows Talk this year with our very own radio show. So make sure you tune in to Sauce and Tomo every Sunday morning at 9 on Triple M.
This year, the Adelaide Crows are asking you to silence the siren. Head to ticketek.com.au to secure your seats and cheer the team as loud as you can.
And a reminder too that the Toyota member offer is back. Thanks to the club's major partner, Toyota, all 2022 Crows members receive a $500 Toyota genuine accessory voucher when you purchase a brand new or Toyota certified pre-owned vehicle. To celebrate, we've organised a special quiz with two of our players.
Hey guys, I'm here with Lockie Scholl. I'm Rory Laird, here today on behalf of Toyota to ask each other some questions about their genuine accessories.
This question is thanks to the tray. Leman,
yes.
Who is one of our unsung heroes on field and why?
Okay, I've got a pretty good one. I reckon you're going to agree. Ned McHenry.
Yeah.
Does a lot of stuff behind the scenes, a lot of hard running, a lot of tackling, a lot of pressure.
Burton tries to mop it up. Did he throw that away?
I'm also going to throw in another small forward, Lockie Murphy. Especially, well, this year it's been very noticeable, but he's always done it. He's attack on the footy.
Wing tackle was brilliant.
So my question is, thanks to the Toyota Bull Bar, who is one of the toughest players at the club, besides yourself?
Yeah, okay,
Yours truly,
right.
You can't nominate yourself.
Yeah, I'm pretty tough. I'm going to throw yourself in there, Laddie.
Wow.
I'll give you a little shout out. I'll also throw in Keezy, big birder, he's really tough.
Tommy Doedee.
We have a lot of tough players. Tommy Doedee,
yeah,
we can reel them off. We can go through the whole list, really.
And dropping back to the flight, Doedee.
This question is thanks to the Tow Bar. Who's one of the strongest players in the gym?
Well, I'll give you some credit. I'll say you've come a long way.
Oh, thanks.
Looks-wise,
thanks.
Filled out a little bit, and your actual strength.
Thanks, mate.
But the clear one is Riley O'Brien. He puts up a lot.
Pretty
Bill
big.
Frampton.
Yeah, he's underrated.
Does a lot of bench.
Frampton has been unstoppable.
Harry Schonberg is quite strong.
And powerful.
Yeah,
quick.
very powerful, very quick, very good looking as well.
Next question is thanks to the Toyota Light Bar.
Ooh.
And you might be involved in this too a little bit, I reckon.
Okay.
The question is, name the most entertaining player you play with.
There's a few that come to mind.
So the young fella's coming in's pretty good.
Yeah, Jordon Butts. He's but I'm going to throw in Josh Rochelle. He's the obvious one.
No moment too big for Josh Rochelle.
Geordie Dawson, he's pretty awesome.
Had a pretty good highlight a couple of weeks ago.
Just coming back. And got there.
There's heaps.
Yeah.
You're pretty good too.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, no worries.
Thank you.
It's rare for fans to directly question the coach, but the Crows Show gives you that opportunity. Shortly, Matthew Nix answers this week's query. The remarkable success of AFLW is encouraging a whole new generation to take up the game. With the likelihood of a fully professional league within the next few years, young women can see a clear pathway to a long-term football future. With the help of Bendigo Bank, let's explore how the SANFLW competition will play a crucial role in developing their talents.
Hi, I'm Mark Moody. I'm the head coach of the West Adelaide women's program. I remember when the SANFL first started out, obviously in the local leagues there was a handful, a dozen or so local clubs, and now you have in the hundreds of grades of footy of women and kids, girls playing footy, so it has been enormous. It's been really enormous. Our program, like any other program, is a stepping stone, and we give all the resources and tools to be able to take that next step to the AFLW. We give them the taste of what it's got to take. What is it that they've got to do to get to the next level? So being able to lay a platform and have resources and tools available for them, the training, the S&C, like the footy, that's away from the footy side of things. So, you know, the well-being, the dietitians and things like that, just preparing them to know what it's like to go into being a semi-professional sport. Look, obviously the notable ones for us are Hannah Button, Rochelle Martin, her sister, Chelsea Biddell, Maddie Newman, all come through from through the West Adelaide ranks. The young one for us, it's really started from the lowest of the grades and then come all the way through, was Abby Ballard. To be able to give her a platform to get in and fulfil her dream was a bonus.
Okay, now it's time to find our crow in the crowd. And this year, whenever you take a photo of yourself or a friend at one of our games and post it on social media, make sure you use the hashtag WeFlyers1. So many shots this week, let's settle on you. Please email faceinthecrowd@afc.com.au with photo ID to claim your prize of 2 tickets to Toyota's exclusive Hilux Hill at Adelaide Oval. Each week, the Crows Show, with the help of Flight Centre, gives you the opportunity to question the coach. This time, Anna Sargent of Mount Gambier wants Matthew Nix to explain why the team doesn't ever play man-on-man football.
Hi Anna, yeah, no, nice and direct, that's the way we like our questions, and we do play man-on-man at times. I guess the game's changing and it's always evolving, so at no point are we locked in on exactly how we play, but we do look to press the ground aggressively. We like to get an advantage and an outnumber, but at times we do play man-on-man. It may not look like that from the stands, but we'll keep working on it for you.
That's about all we have time for today on The Crows Show. Keep an eye on @The Crows Show on Twitter for all the latest news, and check out the club's social media accounts, Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. Thanks for your company, and together with Belinda Sloan, I look forward to joining you again next Sunday afternoon at 3:30 before the Carlton game. Bye for now.
This program was proudly brought to you by the new Pork Belly Deluxe Burger, only at Hungry Jack's.